The World Rally Championship, or WRC as it's often referred to, is an international production-based race series sanctioned by the FIA. It is the top level of rally racing in the world. The racing consists of stage racing on public roads similar to hill climb events. The inaugural WRC season took place in 1973 and simply combined several already famous rallies that had been taking place for a long time prior to the formation of the championship. The series reached a high point during the mid-80s when a group of rally cars called Class B cars had become very popular. However, due to their high speed and how difficult they were to drive, a series of accidents which caused both driver and spectator deaths forced the FIA to end the Group B class. After this, the popularity of the sport dropped off, but in recent years attendance has been rising and manufacturers are putting more and more resources into the series. Because the WRC runs on public roads, it is easily accessible to local fans, as we can see here. Currently, this is probably the closest that any fan can get to a top level of motorsports. According to the WRC's website, in 2017, the crowd numbers rose to above 3.75 million people, with Rally Argentina and Portugal attracting almost 1 million spectators each. The WRC also enjoys a very high level of manufacturer participation, as the product that is racing does bear significant resemblance to the product that is sold by the manufacturers. This leads to more and more investment by the manufacturers to try and impress fans by winning. And it's not only car manufacturers that use the WRC as a marketing tool. Tire companies, Michelin in particular, have found the WRC the perfect place to showcase how their brand of tire is the superior choice for the brutal conditions that these rally cars face. A significant weakness of the WRC is that stage racing does not provide any wheel-to-wheel action like other racing series. This means that events take several days to complete, and the highlights of the rallies are often few and far between. This does limit the appeal of the sport in this age of instant gratification. A second weakness of the WRC is how it is broadcast to its international audience. The series owns its own commercial rights, but the actual broadcast of the series is anything but centralized. Here is a table of how the WRC is broadcast in just a few different countries as well as internationally. As you can see, this makes it very difficult for the WRC to advertise where to watch their racing, as there's rarely a common channel or broadcaster between countries. A notable exception to this is South and Central America, where Fox Sports is the broadcaster in every country. 13 events throughout the season, none of which were in Eastern Asia or India in 2018, there is a huge market that remains untapped. The 2019 season will feature a rally in Japan, which is a great place due to the strong automotive culture and mountainous terrain. However, places with expanding economies and a growing thirst for cars, like India and China, do not currently have any planned events. A second opportunity for the WRC would be to try to tap into the tuner scene, specifically Subaru owners. Up until 2008, Subaru was one of the top competitors in the WRC and enjoyed a very devoted group of followers. This community is still very much intact, but Subaru has moved further and further away from performance vehicles and more towards making family cars, so the chances of them getting involved with the WRC again are slim. The main threat to the WRC and rallying in general is rallycross. Rallycross excels in places where the WRC is most lacking, that is, wheel-to-wheel racing and instant gratification. Many of the competitors from the WRC, including 10-time WRC Drivers' Champion Sebastian Loeb, have also moved over to rallycross, as well as a couple manufacturers. Rallycross as a sport is much more spectator-friendly, as it takes place on short tracks where tickets give spectators a much more complete view of the races than with the WRC. All of these reasons have begun shifting more and more of the market over to rallycross. An external threat to the WRC is unpopularity caused due to spectator injury. Because of how close the fans get to the cars and how unpredictable the stages can be, cars often go off the road and sometimes hit spectators. This has been an unfortunate part of WRC since its inception in 1973. and despite many safety precautions, it is likely to remain a part of the WRC for the foreseeable future.